since we should all get to a more zen topic, what do you guys do pre-show to like get yourself in the zone and chill?
I jump rope.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No way.
Okay. Yeah, jump rope for 5 minutes, 10 minutes before. I find that drummers doing paradiddles really does nothing at all. Probably just to get a picture with your reflex pad put on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think you got to do something to get your blood flowing. I feel like if I jump rope a little bit, then I come on stage like on song number 3. Does that make sense? Instead of like song number 1. And I listen to extremely heavy death metal music. I tend to listen to Meshuggah before every show.
What?
Yeah, just get fucking pumped. Seriously, I love like all Megadeth, Metallica, Meshuggah, Slayer, Pantera, all that shit. I listen just to pump me up, and then jump rope, and then I'm ready for pop music.
Oh, for every show though?
Welcome to Punching In, a series of roundtable discussions by musicians to share ideas about workflow and collaboration.
Every show, yeah. Even AirPods, whatever. I'll have my pack. If you're wearing ears, and just take your cable out and plug it in the phone and listen to some Megadeth, and then go play with whatever you're doing.
That's great. Does anybody else meditate or drink water or something?
I do not drink water. Because then what if you gotta go pee like halfway?
Yeah, I actually try to not drink any. I try to not drink any fluids for about an hour before we go on stage.
Oh my god!
All right,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Really, nobody has like a Zen thing they do. I'm shocked by this.
I do push-ups. I do push-ups and stretch, but
wow,
that's it. I try not to eat now before I go on stage. Yeah. I used to eat dinner. Sometimes we eat our dinner before, and I've had to learn that I can't eat a big meal before I do a 90-minute set or 60-minute set or whatever. I have to. I used to. I mean, but I hated going on stage so bloated.
Yeah.
I hated that. So I can't really eat before I go on stage anymore.
Yep.
Dave, if you drink a lot of water before you play, you could always do the Kings of Leon thing. I think they have cat litter boxes side stage.
Or you could get the Stadium Pal, the little catheter attaches to your leg inside your pants.
Oh God, so gross.
Oh man.
First, for the kitty litter. or you know what? Just don't drink anything before you go on. Man, this podcast really took a turn for the worse, didn't it?
Wasn't a crapper.
Oh, I was expecting like way more, Buddhist discipline stuff on that question.
Does anyone do that? I think it's too hectic backstage to manage that stuff.
I actually stand in front of a mirror and give myself self-affirmation messages,
That's like for the first gig, maybe the second or third, but then it's like, what are we going to do after the gig? What's the hang after the gig? That's the question.
Where are we going after?
You talked about that on the talk back mic about what's the plan after the show.
Yeah, you could talk about that.
Yeah, good. And we do.
You all compare Yelp findings. Who has the best?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the next level. Wow.
All that stuff. Who has the best pastrami in Montreal, which technically would be Schwartz's.
That would be Schwartz's. Yes.
And I hope you get it fatty. I don't, when someone goes in there and they get the lean, you get the lean, medium, or fatty.
Of course, the fatty.
You get the fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And technically, it's not pastrami; it's smoked meat, which I think is a different cut. Right?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
No. You're the aficionado.
I can, maybe next week we'll reconvene and I'll dive in.
Nick,
but I think it's a different cut.
Nick, you need a whole episode of this that's just talking food and drinks on tour. That's a whole episode.
That's going to happen. Episode probably 9 or 10. Okay, so I only have a few more things I want to talk about. So has this ever happened where you've been on the road and there's been an injury of some kind and you're in weird area of the world, do you have to get another instrumentalist or another background vocalist? Or are you basically running track for that instrument? What are you doing in that regard? Has it ever
I've never seen an injury, but I've been sick, like really ill once or twice on tour, and I've done the show.
You've just done the show.
And it
Same.
yeah,
When we did that drive from New York, we were in New York and we drove down to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I got so sick. Oh my gosh, that was like the worst. I had never been that sick in my life, and I just played each one of those shows. I just drank cayenne and honey and lemon and ginger, and I sat at the back of the bus with my like hoodie on, and I just like.
You just took care of business, man.
But yeah, it was terrible. I was sick because I had like gone to Boston and I went from Boston with cold. I went to LA and then came from LA back to like New York. So the weather change, I guess, I don't know.
Wow.
I should have been better off, but I wasn't. That drive like took me out.
I think that was the first show of the tour or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. We did New York and then we drove down to NC to High Point or something. But I just ibuprofen and teed it out.
Wow.
And played. But I didn't feel like I thought I was gonna like have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But I just kind of kept it to myself and yeah.
Wow.
We had a tour once where you guys remember Hussein Jeffrey, probably most of you.
Yeah.
He was on the gig, he was playing bass, and he at the airport, I think our first couple of places were Amsterdam, somewhere else in Europe, and his visa, something happened with his visa, and he couldn't come. Wow. They wouldn't let him come. This was as we're flying out. So
I've seen something like that.
Maybe he found out a week before, or something like that.
Yeah.
That he was not going to make the first 2 gigs for sure. There was no way, and he's the bass player. So this poor guy from the Netherlands got all the music like a week before the show. Yeah, he just did it. He learned 90 minutes of music, kind of, in a week.
Yeah. Similar thing happened. We were going to Singapore. It was another group, and the drummer, his passport expired within 6 months or something. And so, but I guess somebody knew somebody who knew somebody at like the embassy and like or whatever the consulate, and they got him a temporary passport like the day before we left. No, he actually had to come like a day or 2 late, but we didn't play for the first couple of days because it was such a long trip. But it almost didn't happen, but we just happened to know somebody who could hook it up, like at the top.
Good to know people.
Yeah.
That's why you have someone like Katie's husband who makes sure your passport's not expired. Good tour manager.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Fair enough, Neal.
Exactly.
Have you guys ever been in a situation like Katie with Sergio or Neal with Liz or Dave? This has even happened with Aubrey, where the singer is sick, the vocalist is sick, and you need to move keys around. You need to move things down. You need to even maybe swap stuff out because it's just not vocally possible. They're just taxing songs.
Yeah, I mean that happened a fair amount with us for a variety of reasons. I mean, it's a vocally taxing show, and also we had some like ridiculous 8 consecutive day runs of whatever, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And when Aubrey's voice would go out, we definitely had to retool the entire thing. And there have been times when Katie stepped up and did a couple features in the show, and we'd put in more instrumentals, and we would swap in Aubrey's songs that were like easier for her vocally, and it would end up being a whole different show.
Yep. Well, for our stuff, I know we have a bunch of standards we could choose from and stuff we can swap out, but do you guys have like maybe sub out song lists that you are choosing from, like for Liz Fair or whoever, or what how do you guys deal with that?
If she's sick?
Yeah.
If she's sick, we don't play.
You guys you just cancel the show.
Yeah. And LP, our last US tour last year, the first 8 days or 8 or 9 shows she was sick, we canceled the first week and a half.
Got it.
And the bus traveled, and we get to the show, and sometimes we'd even load in because she thought she was okay, and then 3 hours before the show she would cancel.
Wow.
bass player and I actually flew back to LA for a few days. Met everyone up in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, I think as someone like LP or Liz would rather just not play and come back when they're 100% instead of just singing it. You know, and first of all, when you're playing with tracks with LP, you can't just like take a song in a different key.
Right.
It requires a ton of work and rehearsing and the whole thing, and it's just not possible. So it's on a pop gig, I think it's more chance that it cancels.
Yeah. How about Sergio? Because he's up there in age, Katie. What's his
I mean, he doesn't really. He just plays like and actually in 12 years, I can honestly say this, he's never been sick for a gig. That's really weird.
Wow.
I just didn't realize that. Yeah, he's in great shape, and we've never canceled a show for those reasons. Christina and I, like I said, we sing unison, so it's kind of like if one of us is not 100%, we can sort of the other just sings a little louder, like covers it a little. It's never really been, it hasn't really been an issue, and it's not the kind of vocal gig that's just like, it's not like what Aubrey does. I mean, we do all the bossa nova stuff. It's not crazy intense, except for Never Gonna Let You Go, and that's total left field. But we don't ever really, we haven't had to deal with that too much. Actually.
Interesting. Ash or Max or Tabari, you guys have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, actually, in 6 tours with Leon, we canceled 2 shows for the first time at the end of last year because she was sick. And she just couldn't do it. She had no voice. We actually were in Singapore, funny enough. Someone mentioned Singapore a few moments ago, but we were in Singapore and her voice went out on stage because she was sick. Like the last song, she just stopped. Nothing was being produced. And then we flew to Hong Kong the next day and she was in a lot of pain, like in her throat. She was really sick. And we landed in Hong Kong. We had that show and Shanghai to do still. And our tour manager said, guys, we're going home. We're canceling the last 2 shows. And we were like, fuck, all right, well, that sucks. So we stayed 2 nights in Hong Kong, actually, because they had to keep us there to like find the right flights home and the right thing. So we ended up having 2 days off in Hong Kong, which was kind of fun, but
nice.
We had to leave but she has never canceled any shows prior to that, but she was really, really sick. Like we actually were talking about, because this was at the end of last year, it was in December. We thought it could possibly be coronavirus because we were in Asia and she had like the symptoms.
Wow.
That's scary.
Yeah, but who knows though? I mean, it could be just a flu, but she had the fever and the dry, like tight chest and coughing and all that stuff.
Wow.
Can't imagine being on a bus anytime soon, huh?
Not like that.
Someone's always sick.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like back in the day, how if you had a fart in school, you'd cough. You know, nowadays you'd have to fart to cover up a cough. Just saying.
Neal, I want a photo of you framed with that quote, like a black and white photo of you looking very stoic, just like, you know, and then that quote's on the bottom of it.
I'll get it for you for your birthday.
All right. So the last thing I just want to talk about with you guys is, are you guys 100% just playing the show and then taking it easy, working on, just working on yourself, reading or whatever? Or on your off time, are you songwriting, producing, arranging, doing other musical outlets on the road as like a diversification aspect?
I don't really write a lot of music.
Yeah.
It's not something that I've ever really found myself doing.
Yeah.
If I'm on the road, that was a question, like on my off time, what am I doing mostly?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Going to the gym and walking around and eating as much local food as possible all day.
Cool.
Same.
I'm like a big food market guy in Asia and trying to find all the, no, I can't see myself going to any wet markets anytime soon, walking around in shorts and sandals, but you know, I just
Neal's
love
trying to find the
eating.
live octopus to eat.
Yeah, well, I don't mind the octopus. I won't be eating any, you know, fried rats and everything. But I just love eating as much as possible. That's the best. That's the only way to really explore a city. So I find most of my time is walking around, trying food.
Yeah.
And then going to the gym to work off the, you know, 180 dumplings I just ate. You know.
Ditto to everything he said. Yeah, I don't really actually. I should be doing more musical things. I think. I don't know. Like my biggest passion outside of it is food and just like seeing a city and stuff. So if I have time off, I'm not in the hotel room working on Ableton or like writing stuff. My shoes are on. I'm out the door and I'm just walking and finding cool shit around wherever city I'm in.
Dude, you only live once.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Except if you've been to a place many, many, many times, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I see a lot of my hotel room. I find myself just staring at a white wall for hours and hours at a time. A lot of times.
Do you really get bored of places that you've been to multiple times?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
I mean, how many times do you go to Missoula, Montana? I mean, come on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Count the bison or something.
Yeah.
I was just saying, if you're at like the Rocket Gibraltar, I don't care if I've been there 10 times. I'm still gonna go.
Sure. Well, some places never get bored, like boring, but
yeah. Missoula.
I find Dallas, Texas. Every time I'm in Dallas, Texas, that's one of those cities that I could care less about being in. It's like that's like Dallas is one of those cities that like I'm like, okay, cool. What do I do? I don't care. I'm just gonna
go to that goddamn Deep Ellum down there. You go down there in Dallas. I love Dallas. There's some good barbecue down there.
I don't know. I'm just saying as an example. Like, I mean, there's a few of those cities that in the U.S. that I've been to plenty of times, and I'm just like, okay, I can just hang on the bus and watch The Office.
I almost feel like when I'm home, when I'm in LA, I'm trying to do so many things music-wise at the same time, and the hustle is just there, and it's just trying to, you're trying to fit all these random lives all in there and stay in touch with people, and you're reminded of all the things you should be doing to further your career and do all these things. And I almost feel like when I go on a tour or get out of town, it's like, I can I always do bring Apogee, like the little G mic, like the little mini one. I bring that just in case, a lot of the session work happens now kind of via audition, like, here, send me a clip of this. So I've definitely done some hotel room, like, here's my Katy Perry version in a Best Western. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a nice time to kind of like just have this one focus of like playing a show and enjoy yourself. You're already working. It's like to take the time in between and go eat, go walk around.
I dig it.
That's
awesome.
How I am.
I've done some like a little bit of arranging. Every time I go on the road, especially if I'm gone for a long time, I think when I was always trying to figure out what else I could be doing, and we've actually approached you about it. We were in Pittsburgh, and I started getting some lessons from you on that stuff on like taking my arranging even further. But I like write my own music too. So I've kind of had the thing of kind of like work while I'm working. I'm like the opposite. Because I'm also I can say that I'm kind of at the beginning of my career. I've only been in LA for like 2 years, but I guess my mindset was always like, okay, I have a gig, I can do it. Like, what other skill set can I develop so that I can, I guess, work when I'm not.
I really do respect that mindset a lot. It's like,
thank you. I like me and Nick talked a little bit. I never followed you up too much on it afterwards, but a lot of what you showed me actually helped me out with some of that.
Yeah. I always bring a small little, it's like an 1.5 octave keyboard that literally could fit on on one of those plane tables. And you just plug it in via USB. And dude, literally, I've done piano tracks, literally right hand only and then left hand only, and then and just send it out. But it's for me, I find that if I don't keep the work flowing in while I'm on the road, I actually lose those people that I've been working with. So it's almost out of necessity that I just continue to work on the road. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to lose those jobs.
Yeah, you have a whole different scene than like playing, like just playing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Well, my scene is a lot of like, it's arranging. It's like arranging and chart writing for a ton of different people.
Yeah.
But I've kind of mastered that art of how do I do things, two-handed, hands separately while I'm programming stuff. Because arrangements nowadays, you guys know, are basically mock-up tracks. It's like very rarely is it a score. So the arrangements, I think I was talking to you, Tabari, about this, is literally like, here's the piano part, throw that in the violin ones, take out the lower voices, and you have your violin one part.
Yeah.
It's basically
you just assign
piano reduction.
Yeah, you just assign. Yeah.
So, but to you guys' points, honestly, sometimes you just need to take some time off, because sitting on a bus or sitting on like a 12, 14-hour plane ride, you get a headache, man. Like all that motion, plus you're trying to work. It's such a pain in the ass to do all that. So it's like this balancing act of like, I try to bring at least a book to read, or like something that I wouldn't normally do in town. I try to bring those things along with me, because when else am I going to be able to catch up on my reading or whatever? So.
Well, Nick, for you, I feel like wouldn't be a plane be the best time for you to do a lot of that kind of arranging stuff? I feel like if you're flying to Paris, you got like a 9-hour flight. I know a lot of like musicians or like the MD or whatever, like they're always on their computer doing shit for the show or whatever projects on flights and stuff. Yeah,
I save a lot of busy work for flights, like stuff where I don't need necessarily a good pair of headphones. I don't need like a lot of, I'm not doing mixing on an airplane. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely fleshing out arrangements. I'm making charts. I'm editing stuff. All that stuff I'll do on flights. And honestly, you know how long those flights are, man. Like Abu Dhabi is like 21 hours. It's like, I'm going to do like, 4 hours of work. I'm going to sleep for 8. I'm going to eat.
That's the last place I went to. That's the last gig I did. It was in Abu Dhabi.
It's a crazy long flight, man.
Did you go to World?
No, I did go to the Louvre. The Louvre in Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
There's a Louvre in this crazy building.
Yep.
Yeah, I slept on that flight though, and watched a bunch of movies. I watched so many movies, but then you watch all the movies on the plane, and then it's like,
say, man, you can't keep watching movies on the flight. You're like watching the whole Harry Potter series, and you still have 8 hours left, dude. It's like,
I'm gonna take a nap.
Christ.
I was out of movies for sure.
Over and over.
You just keep watching Airheads?
Yeah.
How do you do
watch
that?
it over and over.
Start watching the foreign movies. I was watching a lot of the Indian movies actually, and just reading the subtitles, like because there's so many colors, like literally, and the storylines are so dramatic.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crazy. Does anybody have anything to add to that? Dave, I know you do a lot of work, 4-score work, and a lot of arranging stuff on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I take that as it comes. When it's busy, I was primarily doing a lot of Sibelius for this one project that was kind of heavy for a while. But other than that, if that's not happening, I'm with these guys. I mean, I prefer to make the tour be the tour and be able to experience everything that there is around, and not lock myself in my room all day. Yeah. And I don't practice on the road either at all. Like not at all. When I first started, I would like throw a little practice pad in my suitcase, and eventually I was like, who am I kidding? This is not going to happen. I'm not going to. Just not.
The bed will do just fine.
Yeah.
That'll do just fine. Yeah. You don't even have sticks, though.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever. I mean, it's been a really long time since I've played in like a hotel room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever. Who needs it? Who needs it?
I've made a hobby of trying to chronicle as much as I can when I go out. So I bring my GoPros and I bring my camera and that kind of thing, and I film the shows. Sometimes I'll chop them up when I'm sitting around the board in the room. But when I was in Dubai, because it was like a residency, I was just kind of like there. That was the only time that I really got to like set goals for myself and be like, all right, I want to accomplish this. But other than that, I'm always just like filming or taking pictures and stuff like that, trying to explore the city, pretty much.
So when you say, are you vlogging when you're there? Is that what you're doing, or are you?
A little bit, but basically, I like to kind of like chronicle the shows.
Cool.
So I'd have audio from the board, and I'd have video from my cameras, and then I'll sync it, and then I'll chop it up, and then I can kind of see the progress of the show and stuff like that, and just have it as a memory. Like 20 years from now, I can be like, man, this is us in wherever, and be like, I have the show. Some stuff I've actually thrown online, so I'm starting to do that with the YouTube. I'm starting to like go through all these files and be like, all right, I want to put this one up. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Which is kind of fun, That's cool.
Really cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, GoPros are tiny, so I mean, if you have the, the forethought to just be like have everything ready and just clip them and whatever, you literally just hit record and pick them up at the end of the show, and that's it.
I agree. I have a GoPro. I do it all the time. Just to add is I think that's the best way if you need a sub for a gig.
I agree.
And to GoPro the set live and then fly in your mix audio, which in my case is the click and a ton of tracks and whatever. And that way someone can see you play the SPD and the pad and the show as it is, instead of just learning from like a board audio. If you need a sub to come in a pinch and really nail it, you call someone you really trust, that's been the best case for me in both ways. I've learned sets like that in a day, or whatever, and some people have learned that from me. So I think GoPro is a great tool.
The cheat sheet.
Yeah, a visual cheat sheet, but in the best context because they get to see it how it actually flows live.
Very interesting. Serious.
Well, let's all hang out soon and play catch. I miss playing baseball. Let's go play catch in the park sometime.
Dude, yeah.
Make sure to disinfect spray the ball with Lysol every time you catch it.
Whatever it takes.
Hey, man, we're doing pastrami next week.
Oh, dude, I will eat pastrami with you any day, anytime.
Anyway, thank you guys for coming on and sharing your thoughts. It was really a pleasure having all of you.
Thank you for doing this. This was actually
thank you.
It really was, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see everybody.
Very good to see you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you, Neal and Max.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Good seeing everyone.
Rock and roll, dude.
Rock and roll. All right, guys.
Hang in there.
Stay creative, man.